Hello, I'm Rowan, and today I want to talk about how fake people are ruining it for the rest of us. Here's the deal. We all have imposter syndrome. We spend all our lives pretending to be someone we're not in order to survive. From grade school through high school, getting our first part-time jobs, dating, we lie to ourselves all the time about who we are and what we want in life, and it all adds together until you realize that you are not who you say you are, and eventually you've just totally lost focus. And that's the real imposter syndrome we have. Every time you think you're not qualified to do something, and you really are, you're giving yourself imposter syndrome, right? But the fact is that you've spent so much of your life pretending to be someone you're not, that when you have to put your skills to the metal, put your nose to the grindstone and make something happen, you start freaking out because there's so much in your life that you faked. Something that's real, you end up second guessing. You end up thinking, am I really able to do this? Or is this just another one of those things that I've told everybody because I needed to fit in? That's a big problem, right? So how does that affect the rest of us? Well, other than there's people running around claiming to be able to do things they can't, and there's people running around and, claiming to be people that they're not. They're either faking it and we're ending up taking the brunt of it, or they're actually capable of doing something and they're not doing it because they're so deep into second guessing themselves. What they do or what they don't do affects us in our lives. And so those of us who don't have imposter syndrome, I say that in quotes, those of us who don't have imposter syndrome are either living our 100% authentic lives, or we've so completely bought into the artificial facade that we've put up over time that, we just don't know who we are inside. And, we've given up having that part of ourselves, and we're lying to ourselves over all these things that we really want or we really find important, and that's the worst part of it. See, we need to be 100% ourselves, and yet, we're all holding back from exposing our true selves to each other, and there's healthy reasons for that, right? Everything from, not wanting to open up to someone because you're worried about being hurt if they decide they don't like that in you, to not wanting to be doxxed online like Mr. R. He doesn't want to be doxxed, no. So why would he tell you anything about himself, huh? So this defensive mechanism that keeps us from being hurt, it's a problem. Mostly it's beneficial, but when you find someone is faking sincerity or is pretending to be peeling back layers of their facade with you, and in reality all they're doing is removing layers of an onion that they invented so that they can show you nothing in the middle of it all, it's a problem. When all the layers you've built up, all the fake that is not you, is all you have, then what are you? Are you a non-player character? Are you an NPC? Are you just following the lines that you're supposed to? And that hurts people when they like you a whole lot and they like the person you are, and it turns out you're not that person at all, and you don't even know who you are underneath all that. It all starts in grade school, where we learn we're supposed to behave in class, and we get picked on for being different at recess, and we learn that acting like everybody else that's around you gets you less picked on, and it makes everyone get along together. This is programming. This is going to school to get programmed into fitting into society, because there are certain expectations. They want you to grow up and know these things and do stuff that makes somebody money and maybe get you paid in the process, right? That's the American pipe dream, is to learn stuff and be able to use it, and have it all be things that come back to make you money or make you happy, or get you to a place where you can be happy. Well, what happens when all this gets you to stuff, all this work you're doing, is actually taking you further away from being that person inside of you that wants to be happy? It's not good. It's just not good. Yeah. So, by the time we get to high school, we've had a ton of conformity crammed into us and a good sized side of parental expectations. We've been told to fit in, and we've been told to not stand out, and at the same time we're being told by our parents and teachers that we need to do better than the others, and we need to get good grades, and we need test scores and praise from teachers, and scorn from your peers. That's the problem, right? You get good grades and you get praise from the people in charge, but everyone around you gets upset with you. So if you're smarter, don't show it, or else you'll have no friends. If you're a nerd, you'll have no end of hell if you bring home a bad report card, though. Yeah. So you'll have no friends if you're a nerd, but you'll have no end of hell if you bring home a bad report card, right? The pressure gets intensified, and we learn that we need those good grades and be smart, and we need to fit in and be part of the social group. And then suddenly in high school, our hormones, yes, those hormones are pumping, and they're ramped up, and we're in a daze and a frenzy. Those can't possibly help, can they? It's like your body's revolting against you because you're supposed to be in your stage where you're looking for a mate, and that's what happens, right? Humans are like the strangest creatures. Other creatures have a mating season, and they live to a certain length of time. They start out, they get big, they go through some changes, they mate, and then they die. That's like lower orders of creatures, if you wanna categorize them that way. And then there's other creatures that they do that every year. Once you reach adulthood, you've only got a few years, maybe 5, maybe 10, depending on the animal, where you are a reproducing member of your society, or your pod, or your whatever we decide to call a group of you. But humans are weird. We start out being pretty much little blank slates, little impressionable pudge balls that all we have to survive is being cute. And then over time, we get filled up with information and told that this is what we're supposed to do. And then suddenly our hormones hit, and now we're out looking for a mate, right? Oh, but you're not supposed to mate. You're too early. There's rules, there's laws, all that stuff. I need more water. So what is the natural order for human beings? It's kind of hard to find out because we're a social animal, and we've got so much time, so many millennia, the human time period, not individuals, just as a race of humans. We've evolved from, simple hunter-gatherers. We've outlived every other human variant offshoot species, and here we are. We are the world's most social animal, supposedly. Maybe dolphins are more social than us, but we don't talk their language, so we don't really understand them. So, we are social, and we've evolved to a point where it's not just a physical status that keeps us mating, reproducing, thriving. it's all in our noggins and how we associate with other people in their noggins that determine whether or not we survive, where we are in society. And that's the problem, see? We are animals. We have biological needs. We have our ticking clocks internally that tell us we're supposed to be making children and, passing our genes to the next generation so that they can go make children. And, well, the problem is we've already taken over the world. Yeah, see, that's that whole propagation of the species to make sure the species keeps surviving. We are at the point where we are the worst enemy. We don't have another worst enemy. I mean, other than maybe, some big rock named Apophis or something like that that's going to destroy the ecosystem. We are what's going to destroy the ecosystem. We are what's going to destroy the rest of humanity. So it's weird, see? We don't have as much of a need to reproduce. It's still in our genes to do this. Yeah, but again, how does this relate to fake people? Well, there's people who do this. They get married and they have children because they're expected to. It's all part of this great social and biological imperative. If people would just be true to themselves, to accept who they are and what they are, and be able to say, no, I'm not going to have kids. I'm not going to raise another generation. I'm not going to fit into your standard of what's supposed to happen. And I think maybe we'd have happier people. And I think maybe, the people who actually want to have kids and who actually want to make another generation, they can do that, as opposed to having this pressure, having to deal with all the population of people. Yes, I know. We have this grandiose concept that we are somehow crowding the entire planet, but we're not. We're crowding the population centers that we've determined are important to us. And yeah, I mean, there's land that you can live on and land that you don't want to live on. And then there's land that you can't live on. There's a lot of land that we can live on that we're not doing. And that's got to do again with society. Yeah, so again, fake people, right? Oh, we have to take care of the environment. Oh, we do to some extent because, like I said, we are our own worst enemy. We are capable of polluting the entire planet. Every human being, every animal on this planet has got plastic in it because we invented it and, we were smart enough to make it, but we're too dumb to figure out how to take care of the waste or we're too lazy. I don't think we're dumb. I think we're not incentivized enough. I think that the whole societal problem, the fake people problem, is that we need to have better priorities. And right now, the priority is for large corporations to make money and to make some very few people very rich, and to heck with everybody else. As long as they're on top, they're going to keep being on top and do things so that they get richer. It's rare that you find somebody who has a lot of money and a lot of power who wants to wield that power and money in a way that is actually good for other people and for the environment and for, the world we live in, as opposed to being able to say, well, the world can go to hell in about 100 years. I don't care. I won't be here. And in the meantime, I'll have all the caviar I want. It's kind of rare. More water. Fake people. Well, maybe they're not really fake people, those people at the top. Maybe they're people who have just realized that they're assholes. and they're willing to, they're willing to take advantage of everyone else, and they don't have any moral compunction to not do so, and they're not going to fake being nice, and they're not going to fake being out to help others when they fully embrace the idea that they're going to die at some point, and until then, they're going to eat all our caviar. I don't even like caviar. They can have it, but basically they want to eat our lunch because, well, they're in charge. We're not. What are we going to do about fake people? I don't know. I really don't. I'm sure there's things that we can do, but we have to actually start getting together and start realizing that it's okay to be real. And those people at the top who are quote unquote real assholes, it's okay to not like them. It's okay to be upset. It's okay to say that's not okay. The problem is they're there because we let them get there. Don't believe me? Yeah. Who voted them in? Yeah. Who said, oh, I'm willing to have a piece of that pie. It's okay. It's okay if the guy making those cars makes a ton of money, because I'm going to make some money off of him too. Nowhere near what he's making. Yeah. Riding on coattails. We have to be real, and we have to hold those people to standards. I mean, maybe you're being real when you say you don't care either, and you're going to die soon anyway, and go to hell with it all. Yeah, I don't know what to do about all this. It really sucks. Where's your manager? How do I possibly complain to them to get things fixed around here? I vote, I pay my taxes too, and it's a damn shame that you're spending my tax money on doing these things. And I'll keep not voting for you, but what's going to happen when the other people are voting for you because they've been brainwashed into thinking that what you're saying is right? If only our education system wasn't there to just make us fit into society. Wouldn't that be nice? Okay, well, that sucked. Bye! So, I hope you enjoyed this maudlin tale, and maybe it's gonna trigger something to make you start thinking about how to do things better, how to be true to yourself, and how to hold other people's feet to the fire when you realize they're lying, they're putting out a false front, maybe. I don't know. It's holding a candle in the darkness, only to realize it's hot wax dripping on your fingers, and it kind of burns, and eventually that candle's going to go out. I hope other people pick up more candles around me. It's not like I'm doing much. I'm just some person complaining on the internet. Yeah, it's true. The people who complain the most are the ones who don't do anything. But I vote, and I make choices, and I do things, and I don't do things. I'm hoping that I can do more things based on what I truly feel is right inside, and not do things that I truly feel are wrong inside. There's a whole ball of wax there too, isn't it? Yeah. Being true to yourself, that's the whole thing, is people who aren't being true to themselves, people who are more than willing to ride the coattails of others, doing the heavy lifting of being assholes. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it wasn't too much of a downer. Maybe it was educational. Maybe it was just me, yelling into the void and waiting to hear an echo. Until next time, I hope that wherever you are, whatever you're doing, whatever time it is, you're having a better time than I am. And until next time, I'll be back, and I hope to see you again real soon. Bye!